I know, it seems like I haven't come here in a while.
Yeah, 2 months, maybe. Huh? Yes. Okay. So yeah, Roland is coming, but we need to start it on time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, hear me, it's always late.
It's broadcasted
Huh?
now. It's this is broadcasted. YouTube streaming to the whole world
Oh,
already.
yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Sorry. I need to share the screen. Okay, let's take a bow to Lolo Cantare. Thank you for joining. And so today we're gonna go to the book, newest one that published last month. So it should have been arrived here, but it's not today. So if it's arrived, please buy this book to read. This is very the book should be read. Yeah, the book that has his whole heart in the, because in the preface he wrote like this. So the road to cultivate yourself what is spoken in this book is what I believe and think. It reveals my true heart. I believe that I myself would also be causing trouble to society if I were to move people and give influence without having to train myself. Yeah. So here, his heart in it, and then you can feel his heart by reading, truly reading this book, because between lines you can feel something about his heart. So I'm wondering if I can tell you everything by this book, through this book, but yeah, at least I can say this was written for the purpose to reveal the true cause of the conflict in his long time experience. Oh, hi. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Yeah. Long time experience of him Hi, good morning, Mark. Hi there. How are you? Good. Yeah. Uh, that was caused by many people around him, Master Hokao. Yeah. People around him caused many problems to him. And still, it's going on. So for the purpose, those who attacked him, but they are supposed to protect him, are now causing troubles. Why it is happening now and in the past too? This book can tell you about the whole reason of people around him attack him. Yeah, this is written, I believe, for that purpose. For the future, they don't repeat the same mistakes. So he said in the preface of this book, what is spoken in this book is what I believe and think. It reveals my true heart. Yeah. I believe that I myself would also be causing trouble to society if I were to move people and give influence without having to train myself. So the conclusion of this book is train yourself eternally because master is doing it. Yeah. As an our best example, he's still training him. Yeah. Now he's 67. He got 67, but yeah, he's saying he's still training himself to influence to give a good influence on people in the world. So yeah, so kind of deep aspect of this book I was told, and then yeah, like that I can show you the chapters, the flow of the 3 chapter. First chapter, follow your silent voice. Yeah, of this book. This tells you the true value of New Age is based on spirituality and heavenly inspirations, not the hellish ones. So he told that in the first chapter. So the next age should be the age of spirituality. So you need to get good inspirations from heaven to open up the new era. This is the premise of the book, premise of his true intention. And it goes further to the second chapter, the road to cultivate yourself. The true spirituality and heavenly inspirations are coming from the ability to work correctly, even in worldly matters. Yeah, that sounds contradiction, but it needs to be integrated as one. Worldly matters and spiritual abilities should be integrated as one character in us. Yeah, that's the second chapter because the first chapter tells you to be spiritual is opening up new age. So you need to be more spiritual, but at the same time, you need to work collectively in the third dimensional meaning. Yeah, worldly meaning. Yeah, otherwise, the chapter 3 tells you like this. The name of the chapter 3, the spiritual ability and the right way to live. Yeah, you can be checked by the correct work in the worldly sense. If you are not on the right track, you'll be seen as a strange people by the surroundings. So we need to be more accurate and correct in our work every day. Yeah, that shows you are truly spiritual in a good meaning. Yeah, so that phrase where master checking himself every day by correcting himself. Yeah, that's the meaning of cultivating yourself. Yeah. So this road is eternal, infinite, no end. Yeah. This is kind of simple, but in this book, there are many meanings from a master's own thought. So please take a look. But we don't have this book yet here. So this time. 自分を鍛える道。Maybe especially Mark, you have a intellectual work every day. So it's so connected to your work, I believe. Sorry, but we didn't have it yet. It's arriving. All right. So the chapter 3 tells you the true salvation based on correct work in worldly matters comes from cultivating yourself in both spirituality and decisions in worldly matters. Yeah. This point is where Master is standing out from other psychics, other religious leaders, maybe any other prophets, messiahs don't have this kind of ability, including Jesus Christ. Yeah. So yes. Here we can say him, the Father. So that's a secret of this book. Right? Then we can first summarize up like this about this book. Cultivate yourselves means, like below, people who become spiritual, like Happy Science members, all of you, often tend to be too much subjective because of the being spiritual. Not objective, because the spiritual ability needs to be genuinely in a sense that is separated from others, that is isolated from others. So you need to be isolated when you are getting spiritual. So if you're immersed to your inner world to be more spiritual, you'll be more subjective than objective towards yourself and other people too. So that's the timing. There is a pitfall. We need to be very careful to solve the problems. This book tells you not an instant answer, but the ultimate one to train, strengthen, and then cultivate yourselves. Yeah. It's a longer term solution, but it's essential. Master tells us always not an instant answer, but eternal path, eternal solution. It's effective in the long run. So the conclusion is always training yourself, strengthen your heart, and then cultivate yourself. Yeah. But it's difficult sometimes. When you read the books, it's very, how can I say, in a vacation time, day off, something like that. If you have plenty of times, you can read the book. But if it's so, it's not daily efforts. So you need to find niche times in a daily life. Yeah. It's a way Master recommended here. So he put importance on reading books to this book. So conclusion, one of our conclusions is very simple. How to train yourself, how to cultivate yourself. Read, books. That's it. Yeah. But you need to put the meaning in it. Yeah. More and more. So you can practice it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. So I said to get spiritual means to be subjective more. And then if you are immersed to inner self, you'll be very subjective and you will be sometimes so judgmental because you are so growing in spiritual meaning. And then you are now judging something around you in a correct way so much. You are higher aware. So that place where we will be in a pitfall if we too much judgmental here, we will go back. So we need to be very careful here. Then to avoid it, Master told us to train yourself, to stay in a humble state of mind. The practice is first to read the book. Yeah. In reading books, we put many meanings. To be humble is to read the book because we don't know the knowledges in this world yet that make us humble. We don't know yet. We don't know everything yet. So we need to be very humble. That's a process that you think train yourself is to read the book. All right. So what's a state of mind to be objective? Ask yourself like this, these words. This was excerpted from this book, actually. So if you can think like this way, these ways, you can say you are objective. So please, once you reflect on yourself, you can think this way for a moment. Please practice. Do I feel agitated now? Do I feel angry and restless now? Something like that. Yeah, please see yourself objectively. That's a practice in this book. Let's go ahead. maybe his grandson got a ear sick infection. Maybe she gotta go. All right, so that's introduction of this service. So let's go ahead with reciting the true words spoken by Buddha together. The true words spoken by Buddha, Ryuho Okawa. There used to be the light in the great universe. The light is the energy of Buddha. People can live by this energy. Buddha's energy has made human history. It'll be supplied eternally. This eternal light comes from heaven and prevailed on earth. This is the light of heaven through the prism of Buddha. There appear the 7 colors of rainbow arching over in the sky. Here you can see Buddha's mercy. Yellow is the color of teaching. White is the color of saving. Red is the color of justice. Purple is the color of obedience. Blue is the color of thinking. Green is the color of harmony. Silver is the color of progress. These 7 colors help each other. There appears Buddha land. Buddha land is shining brightly because of gathering of bodhisattvas. This is the land of love or the land of mercy. This is the land of wisdom or the land of teaching. Especially, this is the land of souls. Rest in peace. We all saw that the children of Buddha. The children of Buddha became real human beings. Real human beings have spirituality. The spirits are immortal powers. The spirits are immortal forces. The spirits are real entities. The physical bodies are the shadows of the spirits. It means you are the boats sailing down the great river. The great river is a symbol of the course of lives. Each of you sails down as a small boat, so you need a boatman. If it were not for your own boatman, you surely go aground. This boatman really means your mind. If your mind makes a mistake, the boat breaks into pieces by a large rock, and you also need a bamboo pole. This pole is the meaning of the true words. When you go down a rapid stream, you need to punt in a stream. Then you can change your course. The true words means the teaching of Buddha. Buddha enlightened and spoke the true words, and Buddha's teaching became a gold mine. This gold mine suggests various teachings. These are another expression of Buddha's truth. It brightens up your days. Or to put it another way, the fruits of Buddha's mercy. All of you, now, here, listen to me. Never lose your way, now and forever. The guiding hand has already waved. Please follow this white hand and go straightly on and on. Your lives are not limited to this world only. They have 3 aspects: the past, the present, the future. Your path have already gone by, yet still, your mistakes will be kept in your mind. That is the reason why you should understand other people, and you yourself should reflect on what you have done. You and others are not different. On the contrary, both are children of Buddha and brothers and sisters. Now then, love each other. Let us bring up each other. And it's time to forgive each other. This is the eternal law, which penetrates the present and the future. Yes, indeed, the light of the dark night. The dark night of this world is hell. It is also the same in another world. Since we came down to this world, the sun of the truth is scheduled to rise. Now we are watching rising sun. It will shed light to the future to invite sad people to Buddha land. Now here I command. There shall not be conflict in this world. There shall not be distrust in this world. There shall not be crime in this world. There shall not be evil spirit in this world. There shall not be the devil in the next world, only the ideal world. Utopia shall be realized. All of the people love each other, live harmoniously, believing in one another. The world is utopia. All of us could be the light of bodhisattvas, believing that the light has reality, believing that love has reality, believing that the truth has reality. These are the steps that should be conveyed. We, the light of bodhisattvas, get together, work together to keep right mind and live in tune with Buddha's words. Here we vow to do so. Okay, so we go back to the subject. Yeah, as I told you, maybe, yeah, I contemplated on this book and found Master's True Heart that is written in the preface. Yeah. So he saw many spiritual people around him. Yeah. They actually were once normal people, but they joined Happy Science and to be spiritual, especially in the opportunity to be close to Master Hokawa. They will get spiritual more because they feel spirits come down to Master Hokawa, then saw it. So they will be so spiritual, including his children. And as a result, yeah, they see themselves as some kind of psychics. Yeah, actually. Then that became problems, troubles. As I said, they are getting so much subjective into them, their heart, and they see them so important people because they feel invisible world, and then sometimes they got an insight to read the mind around them. That means they are so spiritual and they be close to the psychics, the special ability of humankind. Then they misunderstood them as gods. Yeah. When Master revealed their past lives, that caused more. But it's the course of Master's life. Yeah. Master needs to reveal their past lives that showed their cause and effect chain reactions of their lives to reflect on themselves. But they misunderstood it as their privilege. And then they used it for the worst way. That's a conclusion now. Then Master showed himself in this way. Yeah. Master never stopped cultivating himself. Yeah. Proven by the words in the preface. Yeah. I was so astonished by this line. I believe that I myself would also be causing trouble to society if I were to move people and give influence without having to train myself. Wow, Master is saying so. We need to be very careful so much. So I felt that way. Yeah, Master is so greatest, but he is trying to still train. And he says he will give bad influence on people without having a train himself. That was astonishing to me. Yeah, I knew it, but yeah, I felt his heart from the sentence. Anyway, so he said like this in the chapter 1, follow your silent voice. Father, although ideas promote work, ideas without inspiration do not have much value. In short, ideas without heavenly inspiration are of little value, let alone those with hellish inspiration. So, yeah, a lot people around him at last worked in a hellish inspirations without having trained themselves. Maybe, yeah, that's the reason why he put importance on cultivating. Yeah, that's essential in happy science because master's spiritual power is greater than we see. We are already spiritual so much. So in the third chapter, he showed it. Yeah, actually. So yeah, we are in the same situation as his children. I feel that's intention, one intentions of this book, I think. So for the future generations, not to misunderstand this point, he published this book. Yeah, that's my contemplation on the book, right? So about spiritual ability, this can be said. First, if you think you're spiritual, that's not the end, but just beginning. Yeah, it should be reminded every time. Second point, because learning happy science makes you spiritual, you are already spiritual, and other people are spiritual somehow. Other people in happy science are spiritual too, in some meanings. Then the third point, falling off from the good spiritual state is easy, but staying good is very difficult. Yeah, that's a point where Master mentioned in this chapter 3. Yeah, so the more we get spiritual, the more difficult we can handle it. Yeah. So if you can handle your spirituality, it's the very acceptable line. But if you feel difficulty to handle your spirituality, that's the place where you need this book. Maybe we are here. We are here sometimes, not always, but yeah. And then we go back and forth there. Sometimes we are too much arrogant to judge people and then go back to the same point. And then we made effort there, but go back sometimes. So, like this. So yeah, we are aiming at the state of an angel. So we need to overcome the point. But it's endless. So yeah, let's go ahead. Chapter 3, exact. That is why it is completely wrong to assume you are almighty once you open your spiritual channel and can hear the voice of spirits. Yeah. So I do not hear the spiritual voice. Yeah. But I sometimes feel my guardian spirits thought. Maybe so do you sometimes. Yeah. So that means, yeah, you are already open up your spiritual path in some meaning. Yeah. But yeah, it's not the end. Yeah. Now, you may be able to feel something spiritual come down to you, but to determine whether the spirit is good or evil, or the spirit's level or identity, you will have to go through advanced spiritual discipline. It is not easy. These are the difficult things regarding spiritual matters. Yeah. Like following video of the excerpt of the chapter 3 that I'll show you. Master told us to receive guardian spirit's voice is not enough. must find it earlier stage of his discipline. So that makes him go further. So let's listen to the master's lecture excerpt. Something wrong. Start again.
今日はですね、霊能力と正しい人生というのを選んでみたんですけども、これは、一般社会に働いている方々、生きている方々は、それほど関心のあるテーマではないかもしれません。しかしながら、教団の中にいる人や、信者会員として勉強しておられる方々にとっては、大事なテーマなんではないかと思います。特にですね、他の、宗教をやっている方々と見てもですね、霊能力が開けというか霊能を持つようになったらもう先生と呼ばれたりするようなところもあることはあるんですけども、これ微妙にですね、難しいところはあるかと、思います。でなかなかね、霊的なものがなんかかかってきているとか降りてきているとか感じるとかいうことはあるんですけども、その政治やとかレベルとかあるいはそれが誰なのかとかいうところまで確定する認定するのは相当修行がいります、簡単なことではありません。だからそれが難しいところですね。だから宗教に集まっている人もいろんな才能を持ったり、学力的にも高い人も低い人もいろんな形で入ってきていろんなタイプの方がいられると思うんです。でも説法を聞いたり、修法をやったりあるいは研修を受けたりしているうちに霊的に目覚めてくる人がやっぱり出てくるわけですね。霊感がついてくる。だからパッと見てなんか悪霊がついてるとかですね、生き量が来てるんじゃないかとかですね、あるいは自分自身肩が重いなとか、これはなんか来てるなとかですね、今日会ったあの人何かついてたんじゃないかとかですね、場所的にそこへ行くとここへ行くとなんか体が重くなってくるとかですね、ここへ来るとなんか光が入ってくる感じがするとかいうやつですね。着実に実績を残すような形での仕事の仕方はしてきてるんだなというふうには思います。でこのね霊能力、霊能者だと思っている人ははっきりそう思っている人もいると思うんですけども、そうはっきりした自覚は持ってなくてもですね、中でやっぱりある程度長さいる場合と、あるいはもう入ってすぐになる場合もあるんですけども、そしたら霊的能力がついてくる場合があります。それ自覚的に使える場合と使えない場合があるので、この辺の違いがあることはあるんですが、全く何の影響も受けてない霊的に、鈍感なままでいることはかなり難しかろうというふうに思います。その場合はもう凍りついている状態で周りがもうすごい、氷で覆われているような状態なので、これがちょっと溶けてこないと魂の中心部まで光が刺さない状態で、もしかしたら幽霊会員みたいな人にはそんな方はまだいらっしゃるかもしれませんし、家族だとか、親族だとかいうだけで、会員になっている人なんかにはまだそういう方もいるかもしれませんですけども、本を読んだり説法を聞いたり してるうちにだんだん溶けてきて、外を覆ってたものですね、カラーの部分が出てき始めるんですね。カラーの部分が取れて中身が出てき始める。でもっとはっきり言えば霊的に、電流が流れる状態になるっていうのはどういうことかっていうと、その自分自身の中にある心という存在がこうつかめるようになってくる状態ですね。今自分の心はこんな感じになってるみたいなのがこう見えるようになってくるんですね。クリスタルの玉のようにですね、心っていうのがこういう状態にはなってる。今自分は涙ってるなとかですね、ちょっと怒りでちょっとすごいカッカカッカしてるなとか、今その穏やかになってるなとかですね、今は相手のことを思って自分の心はそういうふうになってるなとか、あるいは何かうまくやって利益を得ようとしてるとか、人をうまく自分の方に引っ張ってこようとしてるとか、計算してるなとか、そういうふうに客観的に自分の心の在り方を見られるようになってくることは多いだろうと思います。
Okay. Yes. So, yeah, we went through the book of The Road to Cultivate Yourself today, the chapter 3 about the spiritual ability and the right way to live. So, yeah, Master tells us, yeah, you are in already a spiritual constitutions on something. Living in Kauai makes you maybe, yeah, spiritual so much. Right. I know. So, especially in happy science, we are getting spiritual more and more. I'm not sure if you are aware of it, but we are already a state of mind having influence from our guardian spirit. Guardian spirit. He took an example of dreams somewhere in this book. And in your dream, you got inspiration from heaven sometimes. And then if you remember it, you can control, which is happening in the future. Yeah, by the dream reading of yourself. Yeah. Do you see dreams? Yeah. you are the one, maybe. So if your brain working hard, you cannot receive any inspiration from heaven. So in your midnight sleeping well, you will connect yourself to guardian spirit, and then you will get inspiration from them. Then if you remember it, you can control the destiny from the guardian spirit's advice. They are looking at the further place that you are feeling now. So that's a reason why he gave us cautions. If you are spiritual this way, you need to be training yourself more. Without it, you will very easily get off the path to be a good human being. It's so difficult. If you are going furthermore, it's more difficult to be good person. It's contradiction. Yeah. To be spiritual is to be good person in normal meaning. Yeah. But in happy science, his ability of spirituality is so high that you sometimes are off the track to be too much spiritual. That's happening actually around him over and over again. Firstly, the executives of happy science fell off the path. And then finally, his children fell off the path, right?
Wow.
So, wife too, yeah. That's a most problem, yeah. But at the same time, he strengthened himself to go abroad at his wife's divorce, right? So that's a best example for us to take it to ourselves. So Master realized we need to be more cultivating ourselves to go on this path to infinitely closer to God. We don't forget to train ourselves, strengthen ourselves, and then cultivate ourselves. So he focused on reading books that strengthen your reason, intellect, that protect you from falling off the track. Yeah, especially that's what he practices. So he, as Buddha, as Alcantara, he put importance on reading books. So please buy this. It's not arrived yet. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead. It's kind of long, but read it. It is very difficult for people studying at Happy Science to remain uninfluenced by and insensitive to spiritual matters. If they are spiritually insensitive, it is as if their souls are encased in very thick ice. Unless the ice surrounding them melts away, spiritual light will not reach the core of their soul. This may be the case for completely inactive members or someone who only joined because their family or relatives are Happy Science members. Nevertheless, as they read my books and listen to my lectures, the encasing or the outer layer will start to melt and the core of their souls will appear. So keep joining Happy Science and then be spiritual to be good person. But yeah, that doesn't show you sometimes just to be good person. Just like being pitfall sometimes. Because your ideal is so high, you want to save more people, then you are aiming at higher place. For that kind of people like you, he is publishing this book, right? Yeah, I think you are not normal people. Does it make sense? Okay. Yes. So let's go ahead more. Let me explain more clearly. When you reach the state where you feel a spiritual current run through you, it means you can grasp the existence called the mind within you. You will be able to tell what kind of state your mind is in. You will be able to see the state of your mind as if you are looking into a crystal ball. You will be able to objectively, okay? So observe the state of your mind. For example, like we did it once in the earliest time of this service, but we need to do that again. Yeah. If you check on these points, maybe you can look at your mind clearly. Okay. Let's do that. So see yourself not subjectively, but objectively. These questions are available, very useful to you. If you keep asking yourself like these ways, you can be very objective to avoid too much immersed in yourself. So please take out from the dangerous place by these questions, right? So yeah, it's written in the book. So let's practice it again. Yeah, I feel I have grasped my mind by asking these questions to myself. Thank you. So these questions showed you extreme way of thinking. Yeah. So you need to avoid it, these state of mind, agitated, angry, restless, or too much calculative. And then you are trying to gain some benefit inside of your mind using other people. That's yeah, extremely deeper place in your mind. It's working sometimes. Then you find it, you can control yourself in a middle way. Yeah. Yeah, you feel it's not good. Yeah. To control others, to gain benefits from others. It's not so much good. So you need to avoid when you realize it. That's a checkpoint that you make yourself on a right track. Right. Okay, let's go ahead for the next excerpt of the master's lecture in the third chapter.
一番まあ、難しいっていうか大変だなと思うことはやっぱりそのコンディション調整なんですよ。これがものすごく難しくて自分だけできるのはまだいいんですけど自分だけできないんですよ。やっぱりこの世で生活している以上どうしても必要最小限の人とはやっぱり何らかの交流しなきゃいけない生活したり話したりですね仕事で関係を持ったりしなきゃいけないし外の世界でもね出れば街で人に会うデパート行っても会うしお店でも会うし食べ物屋行っても会うしいろんな人と会うようになる。だから、ただただこう受ける感じのタイプの霊能力だけだとまあ会った人にすぐ影響されてしまうことは多いですよね。だから私も学生時代はまだ霊道が開けてるとは思ってはいなかったけどでも渋谷とか新宿あたりのこう雑踏とかに行くと帰ってきた後は体がやっぱ重くて重くなる感じが多かったんでやっぱりこの悪霊いっぱいいますのでまあ接触して、連れて帰る感じはあったのかなと思いますね。だから、まあ、そういうのがあるからまあ、公園とか散歩したりとかよくしていたんだろうと思うし、まあ、そういう悪霊邪霊の類が、まあ、いろんなところついてきてたとしてもですねまあ、下宿の一室に帰ってなんていうかな、まあ、精神収容になるような本とかをね、まあ、じっくりとこう信読するっていうか、まあ心で読むつもりでこう読んでいると、まあ、だんだん離れていくような感じになるわけですね。それから、まあ、本でも明らかに、まあ、私が今言った光の天使というか、まあ、光のしどれと思われるような人が書いたような本ですね。まあ、そういうものを好んで、まあ、読む時間を取るとその間にそちらの方に波長がだんだん合ってきますので街で出会った、まあ、変な霊とかはなんとなく一緒にいられない感じがしてきて離れていくっていうことですね。宗教の始めてからあと、まあ、個人相談とかもありますしあるいは個人相談をまとめてお話しするような感じといいますかねそれを法にしてそれを述べたりしていかなきゃいけなくなったんで、まあ、いろんな人の悩みとか苦しみとかそういうものを受けるようになる。近くに来たまあ幹部たちなんかでもやっぱり、まあ、修行がまだできてない初期の頃はね修行できてない人が多かったですからまあどちらかといえば大立てて使ってるうちには機嫌よくやってくれているんだけども、まあ、仕事の方でやっぱりミスが出たり判断が違うようなことで、まあ、叱ったりするとやっぱりすぐもくれてくるんでそうすると霊障になったりする人が多くて、昨日までは大丈夫だったのに叱ったらその後は霊障とかいうのは結構割に多くてまあ霊障の人と一緒に仕事するの結構厳しいんですよ。とても厳しいので、特にこう切羽なんか時に直前に会う人が霊障だったりすると本当にまあちょっと精神統一の妨げになるようなことがあるのでそれの難しさはありましたね。だから、何千回もやってその霊的にこのなんていうかな横やりを入れられるっていうか別なものに邪魔されるようなことなくこうやるっていうのこの品質管理みたいなもんですけどもこれは、まあ、一番大変なのはこれですね。特に逃れることができない人間関係の中でこの波風立てないで生き切るっていうことはものすごく難しいことです。だからこれは努力しなきゃやっぱりダメだと思うんです。だから霊道が開いたとか霊の声が聞こえるとか思ってこれでオールマイティと思ったらもう完全な間違いです。
Yes.
いつのです
This was held 2021, 2021, December something, 2 years ago. Yes. So in the midst of confusions in his family, after that he revealed it one by one. Yeah. Yes. So he said, in his university days, he reflect on himself and then get rid of spiritual bad influences by reading books. By reading books, there are no spiritual this kind of truth, happy science, because that was not established yet. Yeah. So his student days, he felt something from outside in the urban side of the city and go back to home. He felt so heavy spiritually. Yeah. He felt just like possessed. And then he read the books of the guiding spirits of light. He chose it carefully. So he doesn't recommend to read any books. Yeah. You need to pick the ones which is influencing on you better way. But for him, reading books is protecting himself. That's one way of spiritual ability. Yeah. Maybe you experience sometimes you pick the book at your own inner insight, and then that taught you a lot. That place you are so receiving the heavenly guidance. Yeah. Already. And then turn some pages. Suddenly you found that fits you. The sentence or something like that. That's timing. You can protect yourself from the bad influence spiritually. So he said like this: I proactively made time to read books I could tune into, which meant they were written by angels of light and great guiding spirits of light. My mind eventually attuned to their wavelengths. Then the troublesome spirits I met in cities had no choice but to leave, as they could no longer be on the same wavelength as me. So, at least you have a habit to read the books. You cannot tell what kind of spirits are coming to you. Yeah. So reading books strengthen your inner sense to tell good and bad, to discern good or evil. So make your sense more vivid to discern good or evil. Choosing the books, especially. So you don't take garbage from the newspapers or internet, something like a CNN, right? But you need to choose the cultivate you. So I recommend this and this. These are the one sentence each page. So those makes you reflect on yourself. If you go into the pages, you can reflect on yourself. Yeah, that was published just this year. Even it's in Japanese too. Master wrote it, started writing from last December. Okay, so each pages has each light, yeah, in its sentences. Okay, so this was published recently. So we review it. In most cases, psychics communicate with their own guardian spirits only, but those spirits are not almighty. Yet some psychics think they can be spiritual teachers as long as they can converse with these spirits. But if truth be told, guardian spirits can only recognize as much as the psychics would if they themselves were to return to the other world. So guardian spirit has only the capacity that you yourself has in a spirit world. So that means not almighty. One step farther of you, they can see the world, but that's just a one step forward. So if you are standing on the ground, they are on the second floor, but not the 10th floor or something like that, like Master Hokawa. So you need to be very careful to choose the words from heaven, guardian spirit. Master is doing it, even though they are guiding the spirits from the 8th dimensional world. They are in a real heaven. Real heaven is a world that self-centered people. So they are in heaven, but they are self-centered to give a guideline to you for their own benefits. So you need to know that. so that's a teaching of happy science. Yeah. So it's kind of precise and accurate. All right. So go ahead. I discovered this point early on. Communicating with your guardian spirit is not enough. You must attain a higher state of spirituality. The teachings of the Bodhisattva level are good enough to save the general public. Right. So we need to go ahead towards that level to save the people around you. You need to cultivate more. That's a place where you go beyond to be spiritual enough to receive guardian spirit's voice. But you need to go beyond that point to save other people. You need to discern good or evil from the voices that you receive. Yeah. Otherwise, you can stay back to the point. You need to make efforts more. Right. So that's a difficulty to get the state of mind of angel. But we need to achieve it in this lifetime. For Master Hokawa sacrificing himself to teach this fact. We need to do that. Okay, so in fact, their teachings are probably easier for people to understand than the teachings of the Tathagata level. Tathagata means archangels, 8th dimension, and beyond, which are grand laws that cover greater issues affecting the entire human race, ethnicity, or nation. Therefore, Tathagatas and above will have to speak on such topics of national-wide topics. This is the difficult part. At the very least, you need as much knowledge as a top-tier journalist or critic to speak on matters that involve a country's leader. The Master Hokawa did. If you speak out without having enough knowledge, you are getting out of line. That is why you must study to get to a higher level. Yes. This is why Master cultivated himself continuously. Even, he became 66, now 67. Right, so let's go ahead to the next excerpt, the third one.
あと守護霊、大抵の場合守護霊ぐらいの声しか聞こえないことが多いんですけれども、守護霊もオールマイティじゃないんですよ。だから守護霊さんと話ができたらもう先生でいけると思ってる人もいるんだけど、守護霊だってやっぱりその人があの世に行って、認識できるレベルぐらいなので残念だけども、割合に早いうちに守護霊だけでは ダメなんだと、もっと上までいかないとダメなんだということは割合早いうちに、気がついたことはありますね。一般の市場の救済には、菩薩会レベルの教えで十分通じるし、むしろ分かりやすいこともありますけども、如来から上の教えになってきますと、もうちょっと法が大きくなってくるんで、人類全体とか、民族や国家全体に関わってくるような問題とかまで影響を受けるようになってきます。そういうことについても言わなきゃいけなくなってきますね。この辺が難しいところです。ですから見識がいるわけなんですね。だから見識っていうのはとっても大事なことで、その霊能力をまず抜きにしてでも生きた人間としてやっぱり見識がある程度あると思うんですね。どの程度の見識をその人が持っていくかによって、要するに自分より見識が低い人の考え方とか行動とかは簡単に見抜けるし指摘することができるけども、世の中で自分より偉い人いっぱいいるわけで、その場合はちょっとその方が何考えてらっしゃるのか、どういうふうにしようとしておられるのかわからないっていうのはありますね。霊的な道が開けるまでは非常に純粋化して、透明な結晶化したような心を作り出すための努力、そういう汚れや、そういう汚れを払いながら、透明化していかないと神仏の光が降りてくるようにはならないんですけども、逆に仕事として進めていく段階になりますと、いろんなことについても勉強していかないとわからないものについては答えられないようなことがありますよね。最近は初期の数年ぐらいの講演会の時に失業等を必ずやってたので、その失業等集なんかも本にして出してるんだけども、今見てもこの質問結構難しいだろうなというのはあります。講師たちでもこれ聞かれたら答えられないんじゃないかなというのはたくさんあります。経営の立て直しの質問に答えるような、そんな経営者会社やってるような人の質問に答えたかと思ったら、その次はブラックホールの質問が来るみたいな感じのことがいっぱいあるわけでして、だからブラックホールのというのはやっぱり大きな天体でないと、太陽ぐらいの大きさでは起きない、もっと大きくないと起きないと聞いてるんですけど、実際の問題どうなんでしょうかというような質問とか来る。理系の何かやってる方なんだろうと思うけど、そんなことありませんよ。地球ぐらいの大きさでもこの直径が 1.77 センチも縮んだらブラックホールになりますよって私はすぐ答える。これを答えるのは霊感だけで答えているわけではもちろんございませんで、だから最新の物理学のレベルまでいろんなものを勉強している、平素から勉強しているから、そういうのがポッと急に出た時に答えられるし、経営なんかの立て直しの問題でも一般的な経営の方法の勉強もしてなきゃいけないけども、コロナが流行ったらどうなるかから戦争が始まったらどうなるかとか、こういうイレギュラー要因が起きた時に一般的に教わっている経営の手法をどう変えなきゃいけないのかというようなこともあって、時には分に過ぎたこともやらなきゃいけないことがある。首相に対しても意見を言わなきゃいけないこともあるし、外国の大統領についても意見を言わなきゃいけないことある。ちょっと忍びないっていうか、それだけの立場にはないのでちょっとどうかなと思いつつも、最低限第一線で活躍しているジャーナリストか評論家ぐらいの知識は持ってないと言及するにはやっぱりちょっと度が過ぎているということになりますので、そのぐらいの勉強はしてなきゃいけないということですから、宗教的にこの霊能力も使いながら宗教的修行の在り方やそういう世界についてのを教えておりながらも、やっぱりその周りで少しずついろんな勉強を並行して進めていかなきゃいけない時代が長くて、その勉強を間に合うまでどうやって時間を引き伸ばすかっていうか、自分の実力がついてくるまで やり続けるかってとこは難しかったですね。
Yeah. So happy science characteristic, one of the characteristics is focusing on efforts than a Christianity. Yeah. So this is a kind of difficulty to be in happy science forever because if you are in happy science, you need to make effort. Yeah. So maybe the teaching of love in Christianity doesn't focus on a much effort side. It looks like contradictions each other, love and effort, but it's not. Peace science clearly tells you, yeah, to make effort, your spiritual ability covers into the worldly matters. Yeah? So worldly matters needs to be conquered by spiritual abilities. So you need to make effort to read books or need to know what's happening in the world right now. Yeah. For example, if we don't have a master's guideline, we are very easily going to understand the Ukraine versus Russia. We are on the Ukraine side. Maybe it's very easily happening. But in accordance with master's teaching, and then cultivate ourselves in a deeper way to know the worldly matters, affairs, we need to choose this way. Yeah. That's too much liberal side of the idea that support Ukraine. If you go this way, the world is not saved. But you need to make the good relationship between US and Russia. This world will be saved. The war is stopping. But only the religious sense, based on nothing, cannot make the war end. So we need to study more. We need to work hard. This is a very big difference between happy science and other religions. Let's go ahead. So we are now going to the last excerpt of the master's lecture. Before that, I need to quote, "That is why you need to acquire greater insight. This is very important. Everyone must have a certain level of insight, regardless of their spiritual abilities, Until you open your spiritual channel, you must make efforts to form an extremely pure, transparent, and crystallized mind. This is the first effort. But unless you brush away impurities and dirt from your mind and make it transparent, the light of God or Buddha will not come down to you. But once you become a professional spiritual leader, you must keep studying various things. You will not be able to give answers about things you do not know. So happy science tries to solve the worldly affairs right now in this world. That's the aim of happy science. Otherwise, we cannot say Alcantara is the supreme God of the earth, but he is. Then we need to follow the level like Alcantara wants to do. That's the aim of this book. We need to overcome our weakness, not staying at the low level to be just a psychic or arrogant state of mind to see yourself as God. But we need to be more humble enough to be like Master Hokawa, who is making efforts eternally through his reincarnations. Right, so let's go ahead to the last excerpt of Master Hokawa of this chapter.
そういうことで、勉強は続けなきゃいけないんですよ。だからある程度心が澄み切ってないとその霊的なものが啓示が降りてこないからそれを保たなきゃいけないけどもまた 勉強も続けなきゃいけないし、また体があんまり悪くなると悪いものの影響を受けやすくなるので、体も健康を維持するように努力もしなきゃいけない。そういう積み重ねがあっての健全な人生があり得る。霊能力を持ってても正しい人生生きているかどうか、その人の生活態度を見られる。だからあんまり変なことばっかり言ったり変な行動ばっかりとってたりしてたら、やっぱり周りから見ておかしいなって感じがする。霊能力があると言ってもなんか普段の生活見たら乱れすぎているとか、友達関係見え悪い友達とつるんでは遊んでるっていうんだったら、これやっぱりそれ悪いものを引き込んでくる正当な霊は降りてこないだろうなってことは分かるわけですよね。だから謙虚な心を持って、そして着実に一歩一歩進めていく。だから何かについて勉強しててだんだん専門家にもなってくることもあるんだけど、天狗になったら終わりで、天狗になったらもうここも一種の好きなので、天狗になったら名誉心が出てくる。名誉心が出てくると、自分のお世辞言ってくれるような人は重用しますけれども、間違ったところを指摘したり批判されると腹が立ってカーッと怒るようになりますので、人間が見えなくなってくるということですね。謙虚な心を持って常に神仏が自分を見守っていると思いながら、日々を精進することが大事で、どうしても自己保存の気持ちが強くなるので、自分が自分を守っているつもりでいても、これは自分は本当に可愛いから動物や昆虫みたいに守っているのか、そうではなくて、やっぱり天上界の神仏の心をこの地上に体現するためにやっているのか、自分が褒められたいだけなのか、自慢したいだけなのか、やっぱりいつもそこを認識していくことは大事なんじゃないかなというふうに思います。だからたらいの水の例えなんかもよく言ってますけど、あれ簡単だけど分かる人は少ないんです。本当に少ないんで、たらいの中に入れた水、向こうに追いやったら自分の方に戻ってくるけど、自分の手前に引いたら水が逃げてあっち行くっていう二宮尊徳の例えですけども、すごく単純なことなんだけど、これが分かる人が本当に少ない。もう自分のものにしたくて水をかいて手前に寄せようとするんだけど、手前にかけばかくほど水が逃げていくんですよね。反対側に逃げていく。こういうことを、こんな単純なことはだって人に会ったら損するじゃない、自分が取れば自分のものになるじゃない、得するじゃない、そして賢いじゃないっていう、生存競争ではそうかもしれません。生存という意味では大事なことかもしれませんけれども、大勢が一緒に暮らしていってお互いによりよく生きるためにはやっぱりそれだけでは足りないところがあると思います。自分磨きが先であることは事実だけれども、その先もある。自分磨きの次にやっぱりみんなのためにもお役に立って強調して生きていくことがどれほど大事かということを知っておいてほしい。だからいくら頭が良くても協調性ゼロの場合はエジソンみたいな発明家でもなれば世の中に貢献できますけれども、そういう例外を除けばやっぱり協調性が少なすぎれば会社仕事なんかはできないので、いきなり社長できる人もいませんので、社長に上がるまでの年数耐えられないから失敗することになりますよね。だから総合学だと思って宗教もね、人間学の集大成総合学だと思って努力していくことが大事。それから直接必要な知識の勉強もいるけれども、それ以外の間接的なものについても少しずつ勉強を進めていく。ただ自分のメイン主たる幹とそれと枝葉の違いはいつも見分ける努力を繰り返していくこと、これは大事なことかと思います。老婆心ながら霊能力と正しい人生についてのお話をしました。霊能力を自覚的に持っている方もいるし、自覚的ではなく存在している方もいると思うので、私の言ったことをどうか時折思い返して、天狗にならないでどうか謙虚に努力を続けていただければ幸いかと思います。ありがとうございました。
All right, so the conclusion was to check yourself if you are living the right way of life, right? That's a conclusion about the theme of spiritual ability and then the correct way of life, right? So spiritual ability should be checked by the right way of life. That's a conclusion of the book, but it's not so much easy and then deep. So first we will summarize it as to have spiritual ability is not our goal, but even it's a starting point. The second, to influence people through spiritual ability needs to continuously develop your insight, discernment, and learn politics and economics in the right way. The third, if you can say you grow spiritually, you need to have harmonious relationship with others around you. That means you are living as a right way of life, right? So that he mentioned about not to be arrogant, like a long-nosed governing state of mind. It's in Japanese tengu. So that's breaking the human relationships with others because you are the higher place than the other people. You can look through the other's mind very well, so you will be judgmental in this state. So you need to be very careful to be humble enough to have a reasonable relationship with others, yeah, to calm you down and then look yourself objectively, to control not others but yourself. That's a point that he mentioned in the chapter 3. I'm sorry not to have these books. So if you want very quickly, I'll send you, tell me, from the my storage maybe. So let's practice the meditation of melting golden butter together because Lori's grandson, Tai, is now in sick infection of a ear. So let's do meditation for the health. And we pray after that for his recovery together.
Meditation of melting butter was developed by a Zen master named Hakuin. As he was very poor in health and suffered a lot from illness, he tried hard to cure it through meditation practice. One evening, he was inspired to develop a healing method called the meditation of melting butter. When he practiced it, his illness was immediately cured. What was believed to be incurable was healed completely. At that time, he experienced an indescribable joy. Hakuin is said to have experienced several major enlightenments. He seemed to be a master of intuitive joy. This meditation of melting butter is literally to practice imagining a lump of butter on top of your head. Imagine this as you sit in meditation. The butter gradually melts down to cover your entire body. It flows down, covering you, and seeping into you as well, first oozing into your brain, then to your eyes, throat, and nose. Your entire body is filled with this melted golden butter. When your entire body is filled from head to toe, you become a shining figure of brilliant light. The main concept of this meditation is to fill your body with the light of heaven. By filling the body with light, that opposed to light will be driven away. After filling up with light, you try to concentrate this light in your abdomen, called the tanden. This is the idea of this meditation. It is relatively easy to practice. When you fill your body with light, you can easily imagine to concentrate the light in one place. Through this process, you can introduce the light of heaven to your body, using your power of imagination. Now, let's practice the meditation of melting butter. Please straighten your back. Close your eyes lightly. Imagine that a lump of golden butter is on top of your head. This butter is filled with the light of God. It is slowly melting down. It is melting
真理への
from the
情
heat
熱
of your
この
passion
熱意によって
to seek the
こ
truth.
のバターが溶けていきます。溶けた
The melted
バター
butter
は
will gradually flow
髪の毛
into
の一本
each strand
一本の
of your
中に
hair,
染み渡り
go down to your forehead,
眉毛に
eyebrows, eyes,
鼻
ears,
に
nose,
口にそ
mouth,
して
and into the
脳の中に
brain
も
as well.
次第に染み込んできます。脳の
This
シワ
golden
の中に
butter
その一本一
seeps
本の中
into
に
the wrinkles of your
金
brain.
色のバターが染み込んできます。喉を
It goes down
通過してきます。
to your throat,
そして
then your left shoulder
右肩
and right shoulder
この
will be filled
中に
with this golden light.
金色の光が満ちてきます。やがて
Then your right
右腕
and left
左
arms
腕すべてに行き渡
will
る。
be filled with golden
いつの間に
light.
かこの金色のバタ
Before you
ー
know
が
it,
溶けて
the golden butter has become your blood itself
なっています。
and is circulating through your whole body.
心臓
Your
の
heart
中に
is
金色
filled
の
with
光
the
で
golden
満
light.
ち満ちています。肺の
In
中
your lungs, stomach, and
腸の
intestine,
中に
this shining golden
金
liquid
色の
is
輝
spreading
く液体が
and flowing through.
やがて
Then
胸か
from
ら
your chest
お腹へ
to abdomen
お腹から
and
次第
abdomen
に
to thigh,
太ももの
the
方へと
golden light
光が
will
回
flow.
っていきます。そして
It
右
will
足の
continue
つま
through
先
to the tip of
左
your
足のつま
toes.
先まで流れていきます。足
The
の
light
爪の指
will fill
その
each
一枚一枚
and
の
every fingernail
光は
of your
満ちて
feet.
きます。体
Your
全身
whole
が
body
今
is now shining gold.
金色の光で
Golden
満
light
ちています。
is filling your
内から
body.
も外からも
You are filled with the energy of golden light
満たされてい
from
ます。
both outside and inside.
この
Soak
金色の光
yourself
の中で
in this golden light for a while.
浸らせてください。で
Then
は
let's collect this golden light which fills your body
金色
to
の
the
光
tendon
こ
area
のバターの
and the
エネルギー
abdomen.
今丹田を中心としたこのお腹の部分に集めてみましょう。女性であれば
Like an
ちょう
unborn
ど
baby
胎児
in a
が
mother's tummy,
宿っているように
a shining sphere of light
球体の
is being
光り
formed
輝
in
く
that
のが
area.
出来上がりつつあります。
In the area
丹田
around your tandon,
丹田を中心とする
a sphere of light
球体の
is
光
being
が
formed.
集まりつつあります。
Please try to
光を
collect
集
the
めてみ
light
てください。
in your abdomen. Gaze at this shining sphere for a while. This is exactly the true nature of yourself. Now please open your eyes slowly.
Lord Alcantara, thank you for your guidance. So with the guidance, please pray for a tithe recovery from illness. The other? The other is human. So Lord Alcantara, thank you for giving us this precious opportunity to have your light, to tie these. Let's recite. Prayer for recovery from illness. Prayer for recovery from illness. Lord Alcantara, under the name in the name of the Lord, nothing is impossible. All evil spirits fear the Lord. Every cause of illness must dissolve in the light of the Lord. O Lord, may you change your light to love and cure my illness. I believe in you, our Lord. You're omniscient, omnipotent. Ramu, Thoth, Rienal, Proud, a fearless Hermes, Gautama, Siddhartha. Our Lord Alcantara, the omniscient, omnipotent. Please pardon our wrongs. Give us the energy to live by, and the courage and hope. Please stand up. Let's do the ritual together. The first time. Il cantare healing. Il cantare healing. I thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your prayers to him. Yeah, I'm sure that's connected to him. Thank you so much for the joining to the service today. Enjoy the rest of the day and see you next week. Aloha. Mahalo, Afriko.